Hello, and welcome to Carr Sports. Hold up, that camera is a bit low. That should be fine. Welcome in. Today we're talking about the winter meetings fallout. I'm currently recording this at almost 12:30 Eastern, so I'll probably be putting this out sometime around 4 or 5-ish, so hopefully nothing big else happens that we don't cover here today. So things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Garrett Crochet trade. We're going to talk about the Yankees signing Max Fried. And then we're going to talk about last evening's trade. Do it. So the first deal we're going to talk about is the Max Fried deal, right? Pardon how bad this graphic looks right now. I promise you they look a lot better as we move on. 8 years, $213 million, if my memory serves me correct. This is a huge move for the Yankees, right? You had so much excess, like you needed another stud pitcher because last year you got Stroman. Stroman was iffy. You have Cole that's back. You have Rodon. So now this rotation is a serious three-headed monster instead of a two-head and then iffy down the rest of the way. Then what they did yesterday is they went out and traded for Devin Williams. See, that graphic looks so much better than the one prior. I promise this is what they're going to look like from now further on, so if you check my Twitter, you'll be seeing posts more like this when I am around. I try and be around when things happen. Unfortunately, school and practice kind of gets in the way. But normally, like a lot of times I'm home from practice by the time these things break, or it's before I go to practice, so I'm able to put these out in time. But the Devin Williams trade was kind of interesting because they get him. All they did was give up I believe their 28th prospect according to Baseball America, and then Nestor Cortez. For Devin Williams, I get that it's a one-year deal, but I figured he was going to bring back a lot more than just a lower-ranked prospect in Nestor Cortez. I'm assuming the Brewers are going to turn Nestor Cortez into a beast like they kind of did for Frankie Montas -1 start. Well, if we're looking now at the whole Yankees pitching staff, look at how the bullpen falls in play now. You have your closer, you have Luke Weaver as a setup, you have Leiter, Cousins, Hamilton. Clark Schmidt is the current long reliever, right? A lot of guys like Clark Schmidt above Stroman, so if they trade Stroman for a bat, let's say, they trade bad contract for bad contract and try and get like a better middle infielder. Maybe Marcus Stroman ends up a Cub. I know they've been talking about bringing in Nico Horner and Cody Bellinger. What if Marcus Stroman's a part of the package to go to the Cubs? Through all this whole thing, as soon as Soto went to the Mets, the Yankees, they knew we have to go out and make moves before the fan base starts hating us. So with Kyle Tucker coming in, I feel like you kind of almost have to expect Cody Bellinger to be out sometime later today. If Cody Bellinger or Nolan Arenado do get traded and I'm around, I do plan on going live to react to them. If I see he's about to get traded, I was in the middle of making my Kyle Tucker thing. I was listening to his breakdown thing. He just went live right before the deal happened, and then because I wasn't checking Twitter, I was busy listening to the thing and making the thing. As soon as I got it loaded, he said, it's official. I'm like, okay, post on Twitter. There we go. That's easy, right? So for the Yankees, this rotation is a whole lot better. Insert Clark Schmidt into the 5 spot, trade Stroman for a bat. I like what the Yankees are doing. A deal that I feel like is going to come under the radar here is a Nathan Eovaldi signing. Back to the old graphic style. I'm pretty sure this is the last one up here that is of the old graphic style. Nathan Eovaldi, when he's healthy, is a great pitcher. When he's healthy, he's really good. He's a really good playoff pitcher, too. The Rangers needed to keep the guys that they currently have for pitching. They traded for Berger. It's going to be interesting to see if they trade, I know Adolis Garcia has been rumored around that maybe he gets traded. And so you can bring in more pitching. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Nathan Eovaldi. Signing and the Rangers. Because they need more pitching. He's obviously not going to be your one. And currently, I believe in Fangraphs, he's listed as the one. So are they going to trade some of their offense to get more pitching? Are they going to try and sign pitching? where the Rangers going to go. That'll be something to keep an eye on for this offseason. This deal kind of shocked me. Andres Gimenez to the Blue Jays was interesting to me. The Blue Jays have been doubling down and trying to continue to get better defensively at all costs, meaning all offense is just being shipped off for nothing. I get Spencer Horwitz, right, is kind of a no-name guy. I have a couple friends that I know that when he was on their minor league team, when they came to Columbus, they started a Spencer Horwitz fan club. And when I told him that Spencer Horwitz got traded to Cleveland, he was like, oh my God, what if he gets demoted? Then we can see him more and we can have the fan club back or whatnot. I'll talk about in a hot second. Horwitz didn't stay in Cleveland for, I believe, longer than 2 hours. But Andres Gimenez, I mean, great infield glove. Are you going to maybe play him at short because you don't think Bo Bichette can handle short? We'll have to see there. But the Blue Jays need offense. That's what they needed last year. They're fine defensively. They don't need to go out there and win the Team Platinum Glove every year. They should be going out there and having guys winning Silver Sluggers next to Vladdy. You can't just casually waste Vladdy's final year under contract. Because breaking last night, it said that he doesn't want to come back. He declined an extension that was, I believe, $340 million. Which, I mean, when you see what Soto goes, and you're probably estimated to get $400 on the open market, why would you? Why would you accept that? So the Blue Jays are just handling this wrong. They're willing to go out and pay big for Ohtani, pay big for Soto, but they're not willing to pay their Vladdy. I don't know what the problem with management and Vladdy are, but apparently they both hate each other. So I don't know what's up with that. And apparently they hated Spencer Horwitz because they didn't want to play him ever. So they just traded him for Andres Gimenez. And then as soon as he got to Cleveland, Cleveland instantly flipped him to the Pirates. Spencer Horwitz was actually the first one that I had like my whole brand new graphic style with the background, the highlight around the text, and highlight around the logo. So it looks a little bit better. We're slowly getting there. We're slowly less looking like amateurs. Amateur hour. Horwitz, I kind of like on the Pirates, right? What are the Pirates really got going offensively, right? Are they going to sign back McCutchen? Can you rely on Joey Bart having another crazy year? Because Joey Bart was really good for them. You have Ke'Bryan Hayes that was he's been injured a lot in his major league career. When he's normally healthy, he's really good. And management was on MLB Network the other day, and they were saying like, hey, we're not worried about him offensively. He was battling through so many different ailments that he kind of never really got his stride going offensively. And they're well convinced that he's going to be back to really good offensive numbers being healthy this year. O'Neal Cruz is the interesting one. It's like, what are you going to get out of him? Is he going to be the full-time center fielder? Or are they... IKF is going to be leadoff at short? The Pirates are a very interesting team, especially after they DFA'd Brian De La Cruz. It's going to be interesting. Like, the Pirates, they have the pitching, I think. They have the 3 top rotation guys. And then they have so many young pitchers coming up. I'd like to see them go out and get in the trade market for a bat. What if they call up the Phillies and they're like, we'll give you some of this pitching premium because I know you hate Alec Boehm. Or they bring Alec Boehm in. They move him to first. Horwitz, maybe he plays second base. Like, you can shuffle it around a little bit. Maybe Horwitz finds some time in the outfield. It'll move pieces around and figure out how to get an offense clicking. Because they got the parts. They just need to start putting everything together. Speaking of putting in parts, Garrett Crochet. Oh my God, that package was huge. Kyle Teal and a bunch of other top prospects for Garrett Crochet. This, I believe, 8 years ago, right? It wasn't to the day, but 8 years prior, I believe, was when Chris Sale had this exact same arc. Just changing the color of his socks. Garrett Crochet was great last year, and this is definitely going to help a Red Sox pitching staff that looks like this right now. Garrett Crochet, Tanner Houck, Bello got the big contract extension and hasn't really been great. Cutter Crawford, I know a lot of Red Sox fans really like him. Richard Fitz, I've been told he's well liked amongst staff in Boston. So it's going to be interesting to see if they go out and get another pitcher because they've been linked to going out to get Luis Castillo. Tristan Casas' name has been thrown around, I feel like, every 5 minutes in trade negotiations. Just like, well, who wants Tristan Casas? I mean, who wouldn't want Tristan Casas? When he's healthy, he's probably a 24-homer guy a year as the floor. And he's got, what, 4 more years of control? He's not even arbitration eligible yet. So, Red Sox got plenty of stuff to do. They're linked to Nolan Arenado. They've been linked to Bregman. Let's see what happens. I really like what the Red Sox, they have themselves in a great position right now. I want to see them keep moving forward. Next, this trade. Remember, I saw a post on Twitter, and it's like, guys, we can't pay Springer because we got to pay Correa next year. And then it's like, oh no, we can't pay Correa now because we got to pay Bregman in a couple years. No, we can't pay Bregman now because we got to pay Tucker. We're just going to trade Tucker. Astros, what have you been doing? You keep kicking it down the road saying, we'll sign him. We'll sign the next guy. We'll sign the next guy. Oh, he wants too much and he's better, so we're going to give him more money. And then now you have none of them. I get probably Springer was a good job not signing him as he's kind of fallen off as a Blue Jay. Correa's been good when healthy. Bregman is now gone, and Tucker is now gone. You're really left with Jeremy Pena, Altuve, and Yordan. That's your big three from those World Series teams that are left. The rotation, are they going to trade Valdez? Because Valdez was rumored to be a Red Sox at one point too. So what's going to happen with Valdez? I like that they got Isaac Paredes back. Isaac Paredes should slide in perfectly at third base. And then with his swing profile, he should absolutely feast with the Crawford boxes. I believe it was something like he hit 19 homers or something last year, and he would have hit like closer to 26 because of Minute Maid short porch in the Crawford boxes. Or what is Minute Maid called now? I'm still going to call it Minute Maid because I don't really care. But what's the new name? Someone put that in the comments for me. So I don't look like old, as I keep calling it Minute Maid. This lineup is not... I get the Astros are probably going to go out and spend more money. I saw something interesting today where they've apparently called asking about not Alex Bregman, Nolan Arenado. What does that really do? Like, what does that move the needle for? John Singleton would probably get pushed out of the lineup if you bring in Bregman or a third baseman. Bregman, let's say for some reason you bring in Glaber to play third. You trade for Nato. You trade for Bohm. Isaac Paredes probably goes to first. Singleton gets moved to the bench, or maybe Yordan gets put in left field. Because I highly doubt the Astros willingly walk into 2025 with Taylor Trammell starting in left field. I like Taylor Trammell. Reds legend Taylor Trammell. No. You're still a World Series minded team. You cannot have your bottom of your lineup being Chaz, Taylor, and Jake. That cannot happen. And if you want to take it a step further, you can't have John Singleton, Chaz, Taylor, or Mike all in that bottom of the lineup. Jeremy Pena was solid last year. Very much better from what last year was. Last year was kind of a down year offensively. Defensively, he was still really good. So I like kind of this top part. 1 through 4 I'm fine with. 5 and 6 I'm like, 7 through 9 I'm like, no. Something has to change. You need to go and get probably 2 outfielders if you're comfortable. Yordan improved a lot defensively. It doesn't mean he's now going to go out and win a Gold Glove, but he's not as bad at defensively as he's been in the past, so you can stick him in left field. Go out and get someone from right field. Go out and maybe get a center fielder. Because I'm comfortable if Chaz McCormick has a healthy year this year, I'm fine with him being in right field. Jake Myers and Chas McCormick need to not both be starting at the same time. Taylor Trammell doesn't need to be starting at all for a Houston Astros team like this. Mauricio Dubon can kind of be that flex bat where you kind of put him anywhere. Let's say Altuve needs a day off. Let's say Pena needs a day off. Maybe Isak wants a day off from third or one of the outfielders. Dubon can be your do-it-all guy, right? Maybe Dubon plays every day, but he just plays a different position every day. If that's your idea to solve the outfield and then some other issues, you have other problems going on in the front office. With the Tucker deal, this is what the Cubs lineup now looks like. Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, Cody Bellinger. If Cody Bellinger bounces back, that's a great 1 through 4. However, Cody Bellinger is most likely getting traded because they want to play Pete Crow Armstrong. PCA, and I really liked PCA coming up in the Mets organization. He's going to be really good for them. And so they want to get him playing better, right? And that comes with consistent playing time. They need to hand it over and be like, you are the center fielder of the future. Michael Busch is holding first down well. Let's say the Yankees call and they're willing to give some pitching for Nico Horner. Busch goes to second, Cody goes to first, PCA in at center. I'm good with that. But you have to trade either Nico or Cody. One of those two things has to happen. Not pictured in here, Carson Kelly signed a 2-year deal with the Cubs yesterday. He's not pictured in here as he's viewed as the backup catcher to Miguel Amaya. So that is not pictured in. As much as I am a Reds fan, as you can see back there, I really like the Cubs lineup. I really like their rotation-ish. The rotation's fine, right? Everything else I'm kind of like iffy with, right? Because you look at Ian Happ. Is he the best leadoff hitter? Probably not. Kyle Tucker's really good. Seiya Suzuki's okay. Cody Bellinger's okay. Dansby Swanson's good defensively. Michael Busch is okay. There's a lot of okay, and there's not a lot of great. Find some pieces, mix it all up. Feel like there needs to be a couple trades that happen to make this... Kyle Tucker moved the needle here. I feel like if they want to run away with the division, it needs to be here. Because the Reds are going to be healthy this year. We don't know what the Brewers are doing. We think the Cardinals are blowing it up. And we think the Pirates might be gung-ho. And they might be ready because they saw the success last year. We saw them willing to make moves last year. Maybe they go out and make some splashes. Maybe they are the ones that get Luis Robert. Maybe they're the ones to go out and get another bat. Maybe they swing a deal with the Rangers. They send some of their pitching over and they bring in Adolis Garcia. So, we don't know how this division's going to stack up in the end because I don't think the Reds are done either. They were rumored to almost being in the running for Crochet. Something else big is going to happen in the NL Central. Will the Cubs be the ones coming up top is what I fear they need to make more moves for. Move that kind of shocked me. I was getting ready to go and record this when Jeffrey Springs got traded to Oakland. Unless you're like always on Twitter and always following the beat reporters and always kind of like seeing the news and how things are cycling, what team do you think almost was like right at the end for Max Fried? Because the Yankees ended up getting him. Pop quiz. Was it the Dodgers? Was it the Mets? Was it the Giants? Or was it the Braves? It was neither. It was Oakland. Oakland was ready to give him that same kind of contract until the Yankees moved ahead. The Athletics ended up trading unranked prospect that the Reds gave up to get Sam Wall for Jeffrey Springs, among other pieces. I really like what this does for the rotation. They have a lot of younger guys, and then they have Sevy. Right? I think Jeff Springs, when he was kind of first became a starter, was with the Rays. He was really good that first year. These past 2 years, he has 10 games started combined due to injuries. So it'll be interesting to see how he bounced back. He wasn't bad when he came back. So for a young team like this, the A's, I think they have everything in control offensively. They have the offensive pieces. Rooker is still expected to get extended. Butler's a dog. Langoliers is really good. Zach Geloff is probably going to bounce back. Last year, I think, was kind of an outlier because of all the injuries. I'm really high on Oakland, or not even Oakland anymore. It's Sacramento Athletics for about 3 or 4 years until they're the Las Vegas Athletics. So I'm really high on Oakland. I think they have a really good core starting to form there. And I think now that they're out of Oakland and they got everything approved, now ownership's going to start spending. Because we saw what happened. They stopped spending. They let everybody walk. And now they're like, well, now we got the stadium approved for Las Vegas. And we're going to make a lot of money in Vegas. Let's start making moves. To people that were diehard Oakland A's fans that live in the Bay Area, this probably has to suck a lot to see happen, that now that they're gone, they're now spending money. If the Reds pulled up and decided to move to like Nashville tomorrow, and then they went out and gave Ellie a $700 million contract extension, I'd be pretty mad. It's just like, well, why couldn't you have done this here? Why couldn't you? And was it really that there were no fans coming? No, because I saw a post where they spent like 20% on, not even 20% of what they were actually making on their team per year. So it's got to be frustrating. I like the move for the Sacramento A's. I don't like the fact that they had to move to Sacramento. Rays are embracing what is going to be a hard reset. They traded Paredes. They traded Randy. They traded a bunch of other pieces at the deadline. Springs was the next one to go. Probably coming up next is going to be a Shane McClanahan trade. How long until Shane Baz starts getting shopped? We don't know. So, without further ado, I think that's all I have for today's winter meeting breakdown. If anything happens now revolving around big trades, like let's say we get a tweet in about a couple hours and it's like, wow, someone's about to get signed, or if it happens sooner, I'll probably go live and then we'll see this video later. Because I'll be probably editing this down and scheduling it for 4 now, by how the time looks like it's going. So, I'm going to go edit this. I will be live whenever news starts happening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I believe there are some bowl games happening, so thank you for spending your time listening to me ramble about sports instead of anywhere else, or watching something that's probably a whole lot more fun, like a bowl game. So, this was Andrew Carr with Carr Sports. I'd like to thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you when we go live probably later today, hopefully. Take it easy for now.